Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a review for you of this big guy, the CKF Gratch. So, Gratch is the Russian word for a rook, or a crow. Well, it's a bird similar to a crow. And CKF is a custom knife factory. It's a Russian company, although I've heard a lot of speculation that they're actually buying Chinese parts and assembling, but hey, whatever. Either way, it's by the CKF, and I first off want to thank my buddy Mike for sending this guy along. I'm very thrilled to have gotten a chance to look at this. So, there you go. Size comparison-wise, here it is versus your Spyderco Delica. We can see that this is a big knife. Here it is versus your Ontario Rat number 2, your Ontario Rat number 1. So still, big knife. And then versus your Grimsmo Norseman. There we go. So, yeah, large. And then the other thing is that this is a Malyshev design. So Malyshev designed the Gnome, which was a knife that was very popular recently. And, he's definitely got some good design cred to his name. So there you go. Let's go on ahead and jump into the good, the bad, and the ugly, as always. So on the good side, the blade on this guy is very nice for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, it's got a great finish on it. You can see it's actually fairly reflective. It's not a full mirror polish, but it is a lot more polished than you see on a lot of other knives. Another beautiful thing about this blade here, hopefully you can see, is that it is in M390 steel. And M390 is a great steel for a pocket knife. Absolutely one of my favorite steels. And so that's a nice thing. I appreciate that a lot. The knife has carbon fiber on both sides, and it's actual carbon fiber, and it seems to be a solid layer of the carbon fiber, and you can see that it's been contoured here. And so, yeah, looks like good CF, but on the inside of the carbon fiber, there are still full liners, which I appreciate very much. The knife itself is a liner lock knife, and it does have a lock bar insert. And one nice little thing that you can see here, I hope, is that the lock bar insert screw is inside the liner here. And I don't know why, but it's very appealing to me. It's very graceful. It's not on the inside where it could ever contact the blade. It's nicely done. And so I appreciate that. It's a liner lock with a lock bar insert, which isn't super common to start with. This does have a very nice finger choil on it, which is good. And that's, I always am a fan of the finger choils. And it also serves as a very good sharpening choil. The plunge grind is just barely scraping the edge of the finger choil, of the sharpening choil there, but that's okay. I'm pretty okay with this. I do very much like the backspacer on this knife, not because it's anything so special. I mean, if you take a look at it, it looks like just a chunk of titanium here. But the joy in it, for me at least, is the fact that over the course of the knife here, the backspacer remains, it has one set of curves, and then the knife itself has another one. And so, as a result, the knife and the backspacer gradually curve away from each other. I don't know, that there's no functional reason for me to like this a lot, but design-wise, it's gorgeous. I really like that. That's a cool little touch. And, it's a masterful hand in the design level. And so aesthetically, that's great. The clip on this guy is nice. It is a little bit on the shallow side in terms of, it's very hard to get this guy over the material of your pants. It doesn't stick up very far. So if you wear very thick fabric pants, you might have trouble there. But it is a milled clip, and so that's nice, and it appears to be a titanium clip, and it's screwed in nicely. I mean, there's nothing really to complain about here with the clip. It's unique and good. The lock bar tension, or I suppose liner lock tension, is great. It's very light, and which makes it very easy to engage and very easy to disengage. I like it a lot. The ergonomics on it are pretty good. They're not really over-the-top stellar. It is a little bit thick, and the clip is a little bit odd for me, but in either position, choked up or back down, the ergos are fine. And probably most interesting to me about this knife is the fact that the action on it is really great. It is a great flipper. It's 100% reliably flipped. The detent is very good. There's no even question to it whatsoever. And on the closing side, it is very smooth. Very smooth. It is, smoother than, for instance, your ZT562 or your ZT0452. It's not quite Norseman or Neon smooth, but that said, nothing really is. So the action on this guy is actually very impressive. It's running on bearings. You'll see the disassembly video. And Yeah, so anyways, that's your good of your CKF Gratch here. The great blade finish and steel, the great carbon fiber with nice liners and a nice liner lock. It's got this backspacer thing really does do it for me, I'll say that much. The clip is good, the lock bar tension is good, the ergonomics are good, and the action is really pretty great. Honestly, there's nothing to complain about whatsoever with this action. It's very, very good there. So let's jump into the bad. So on the bad side, there are only a couple of little things here. First off, I don't entirely understand the blade shape. It feels like there's a bit of a recurve here, but not enough to really mean anything. And I think part of that is just this little part here sticks out just a little bit further than the rest of the blade. It's not bad, and similarly, I don't quite get the drop pointiness of it here. It's kind of asymmetrical. Like I said, I just don't get it. That's not a functional issue, but it's a nick issue. I don't understand it, but that's okay. One thing that is a little bit more functionally weird about it is that this knife shows gunk and fingerprints like nobody's business because of this blade finish. If you cut into tape, for instance, on most knives, yeah, you'll see a little bit of something here and there, but by and large, your blade still looks the same. On this guy, fingerprints show up, oil shows up, anything that you really cut into is going to show up. And so if you want your knife to be looking, well, unsoiled, you're going to need to wipe it off after pretty much every use or every touch. It's okay, it makes for an interesting showpiece, but in a functional sense, this is probably why most people aren't polishing knives meant for work. Not a big deal there. The only other bad thing I could really come up with here is the clip is a little bit off. Meaning, like I said, there's not a lot of ramp to it. On a lot of knives, there's some kind of a little ramp up here for the pocket clip, and on here, there's not really. So if your pants or your pocket or whatever is thicker than this little protuberance here, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to have trouble getting this into your pocket. And so that is something you got to keep in mind. But aside from that, really, it's a pretty damn solid effort. And in terms of the ugly, I'm not seeing anything bad ugly here. You can like and not like design choices, but this is a solid little knife. There's nothing wrong there. So let's jump into the final conclusion here. So the CKF Gratch here is a great knife with a kind of unfortunate name in English, but that's okay. But it's doing a lot of things right. It's got great materials, it's got great design, it's got a really good action on it. And the design on it, like I said, there are parts of this that really do speak to me and that I really do like. Malyshev can do some damn good work. And so, at the original price was $370. I'm not sure whether this is just out of stock most places or discontinued. People are disagreeing about that. But either way, you see them a lot in the secondary market. So if you're looking at a Gratch and you're trying to get the opinion here, go for it. It's a great knife. The thing is, at that price point, $370, there are a lot of other really, really good knives out there that are also very, very excellent. This runs with the top of the pack for sure, but there's also nothing that really makes me go, oh my God, you need this specific knife. No, I mean, it's another really, really solid knife. And so, like I said, if you're absolutely over the moon with the Gratch, do it in a heartbeat. And if you're even just Gratch curious, then yeah, go for it. Why not? But if you're not 100% sure, or you're just looking for some kind of knife, I don't know if there's necessarily enough here to make you choose this over any of the other brilliant options in that range. So, there you go. Again, Mike, thank you very much for sending this guy along. I'm very, very thrilled to have gotten a chance to take a look at it. Make sure you check out the disassembly video on this guy for a different perspective. And I hope you enjoyed this review and that you have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of your day.